You made me panic on the last one.
This also isn't tightened down.
You yelled at me.
Did he?
You yelled at me, and I panicked. My mic was all the way over here. I was having a conversation. He was like,
I did. I snapped out.
made me feel like I was in high school.
Hey, welcome back to the Blk Blu Podcast.
Welcome back to
I'm
the Black
Kyle,
and Blue.
and that's this loud dude over here. We need more energy. Yeah, thank you for following us thus far. If you're new to this show, click that like and subscribe button. If you want notifications, click the little bell thing for notifications on when these episodes release. We put an episode every week. This is a public episode, and then next week will be an exclusive Patreon only episode where we keep things light, but we also talk about some things and showing more to our personalities outside of just being trainers at Blue Bearing Solutions. So this podcast is brought to you by Blue Bearing Solutions for the time being. But yeah, so let's get into it. Checking in from this past week. Short week.
Very short week.
From last time we recorded, but a few things have happened since then, and preparing for a few more things. But yeah, I think the biggest thing that I'd like to highlight right away is Starship Commander was lenient enough to let me bring the lights to record a video today.
Finally.
Yeah. Yep.
I was surprised on that yesterday.
Me too. I don't understand the calculus that gets measured.
Are those that expensive? Yeah.
Yeah. But who bought them? We still need to take care of our stuff.
So
but
you're not allowed to carry?
No.
Okay.
Well, I am now.
Well, they were set up nicely today. You did a good job setting them up.
Well, I mean, I spent an hour trying to figure out how to hook a camera potentially to one of them because we're going to do that top down for a video on a bunch of paracord.
Oh,
you have to check us out on Patreon to see the video, the how-to video there.
You asked for it.
Yep.
Here they are.
All the color options you could.
I looked for hours on. Got so many messages about. I looked for hours on Google. I can't find it. Where do I get it at? Are y'all sold out? Are you making them?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, not yet. But it's probably the most asked question that I've gotten in the last 2 years.
I think consistently it is the most asked question. Yeah.
Because from your episode on Sean Ryan and then my episode on Sean Ryan, we both talked about it, and then it just became, because I was getting questions about these bracelets before I ever even knew what they were.
Yeah.
What's that bracelet Kyle's wearing? I'm like, well, dude, I don't know. It's a paracord, I guess. Maybe he's like a survival instructor. I don't know. But then
We're just a paracord enthusiast.
those are people out there.
I used to know one. He's hiding behind the monitor over there. Can't see him. You got a direct line of sight with him.
I know.
He hides from me.
You can always tell how this is going because he's either smiling or he's falling asleep.
He bends out of his way to get my attention, but otherwise he's just kind of ducked back behind that monitor. We got to fix that.
He runs a tight ship around here.
I need one of those like mirrors that I could see you, like you put in the baby for the back seat, so I can see what's going on.
No.
So, eyeballs.
I wave at him sometimes.
Yeah, so check that video out on Patreon. It'll be out by the time this comes out. I think actually we're planning on releasing that for Valentine's Day. A nice Valentine's Day gift that you can make for yourself, or gift to someone that you love.
Yeah.
The blue
Or just
bracelet.
straight restrain
The
your
blue
wife.
bracelet. Dude. What man?
I had to say it. I'm saying what everybody in this room, including Bonnie, was thinking. I just said it.
My mind did not go there. I don't know. Somehow yours did though.
Yeah.
The gutter.
Sorry.
It's kind of like the rim shot last week. He was over here.
Nope. Google rim shot in Urban Dictionary.
Yeah, but
Now, Urban Dictionary is the dictionary. It should be the standard. A lot of great knowledge in the Urban Dictionary.
if I want to get a good chuckle, I'll look things up on Urban Dictionary. But
Urban Dictionary is the truth. With Starship Commander, 50%, 50%, 30. I'll take 30.
let's talk about that real quick. So, like, were you in the last one that people have commented on about the
What is
the
wrong
Alaska
with you
thing?
people?
And so part of it is the tone. Like, that's great country, or that's a great country, right? So, like,
I didn't say that's
no.
a great-
Just let me finish what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. So, if you say it in a way that's with a bit of a space between the words, like, that would be super confusing, right? But you did say that's great country,
No, I said it's beautiful country.
beautiful country.
Like beautiful land.
Fill in the adjective, but beautiful, great, whatever.
I am not Nicole.
But when
I know that
when it's
Alaska
basically
is a
one
state.
full word, that's when things can be confusing. Unless you
My mountain people knew. What I was saying.
only reference Urban Dictionary for everything that you.
And do I need to read that off?
No, I know you already put it in a comment. You literally copied and pasted what Urban Dictionary says about country.
I didn't copy and paste.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did.
Because all I did was look up Urban Dictionary country, and it's like the 5th definition,
Oh my God.
word for word.
You did.
Yeah, I had to validate something there. I was like, well, he copied this from somewhere.
You went.
Yeah,
Hopefully nobody else did that. So cool. I'm just going to be quiet this episode.
good. It's gonna be an entertaining episode. So that was. I'm not going to mention the fact that Starship Commander was 45 minutes late. Or I just did.
Is that 2 times in a row?
Yep.
Oh,
This time he's like, "Oh, I just woke up."
Huh.
That set me back.
I had to
Send me
take
back.
Bonnie this morning. Had a 2-hour drive here. Yeah. Made it on time.
You did. I took Kennedy to school, went to the gym, worked out.
Oh.
Was going to get back here and get cleaned up, kind of set my mind for the podcast, but here we are.
Here we are. Yeah.
Here we are.
It would have been nice to have a 45-minute break in between shooting that bracelet video and the podcast, but we didn't. I don't know why we didn't, but we didn't. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's going to be a good video, though.
Yeah, try again next time.
Yeah.
Should have said Urban Dictionary was a dictionary, and I would have just not agreed with any of that. He got bumped down?
He lowered it. Yeah.
Dang.
So, I don't know. One of the things that's, it hasn't happened yet, but it is coming up on Saturday. It's Eric and I's 20th year anniversary of marriage.
This Saturday?
Yeah. Yep. January 18th, 2005 is when we got married at a courthouse in Fayetteville.
2005?
Yep. Courthouse in Fayetteville. Yeah.
God, I was a sophomore.
I was wearing a hoodie. I remember it vividly.
How old were you?
20.
Dang.
I mean, literally half my adult life I've been married to her. Or half my life, excuse me.
Yeah.
Been married to Erica.
Congratulations on that.
No, thank you, man. I'm extremely proud of that. And I'm not going to go down this like, oh, like, well, I was separated, I left, I lost my mind.
Oh, that's marriage,
was
man.
doing-
Marriage is freaking hard.
Yeah, but
Marriage is hard.
at the end of the day, I'm just blessed that she's given me this opportunity to show her that I can be and I am the husband that she's always deserved.
Yeah.
That'd
be really good, too, because you guys will have that Saturday and then
Little
packing
trip.
up,
We'll get a little trip.
Little
Yeah.
trip shot show. Got Sunday and Monday to kind of
Yeah.
hang out before we have to go meet everybody because Unit Solutions announced that we were going to be at their booth, so now it's going to be Slam.
Yeah. They
So-
kind of led me to another point too. Like, obviously, by the time this comes out, SHOT Show will have passed, but
It was awesome meeting all y'all.
yeah. Join us on Patreon. You probably heard me say that when I met you. No, I'm looking forward to it. We intentionally, plan that out to where, I'm gonna take her to do something like just a dinner locally on Saturday, but we're gonna do something Sunday and Monday. Like,
Yeah.
she's already looked around and there's not like a show she wants to go see, but we'll find something like that
just to walk
that
around
we can
and
do.
see. Like,
Yeah.
I've never been. I've only seen Vegas on TV shows and movies, and so I mean, even like not being a drinker, there's still like it's still cool to go check it out and
I think
just
there's a
see
word for that.
everything.
Sober.
Not a drinker. That's a country term.
I don't drink.
I don't drink no more. I don't drink that devil juice.
Yeah.
But no, it's gonna be fun, man. I'm actually super excited.
I'm not excited to be around people drinking.
But you'll have.
But in passing, it'll be fine. It's just
Yeah.
when people, it becomes obnoxious when people, just like I was obnoxious when I drank too over time.
It's the hot breath that gets me.
Well, people start to get really close too,
Yeah.
like that.
Man, I love y'all.
Yeah. Yeah. Or I hate you. Okay.
Yeah, or I hate you.
Like, yeah. Okay, great. But it will be cool to walk around and to meet some of the followers and supporters of both of us and Blueberrying and maybe the Blk Blu Podcast. Maybe some followers of that, supporters of that.
A lot of support recently for this. This thing's growing.
Yeah.
I love it.
But like traditionally, I've been twice to SHOT Show, but one time we planned like a climbing trip around SHOT Show, stayed in the MGM Grand, and then went out to Red Rocks. It's like a climbing spot out there. It's about 30, 40 minutes away, but man, it was a boondoggle. It just was. We did some climbing, but lined it up during SHOT Show. So all I did was party and I really like fed into that rock star lifestyle, but this would be good. The second time I went, there's also a massive trigger there too, because I relapsed because I wasn't a drinker the second time I went. And the reason I mentioned that earlier is because the mindset of like, it's not that I'm not a drinker, I'm sober. Like if I choose alcohol, I choose to a life of misery and alienation of everything I care about. That's the significance I put on it. And this isn't rumination. It's none of that. It's just, that's my relationship to alcohol. So, back then I was a dry drunk. Like I was abstaining from alcohol but I was doing it for everybody else.
Yeah.
And maybe partly for myself. I'd tell myself like, oh, I have all these other problems, so drinking's not helping. But long story short is obviously, so I relapsed when I was there. And
When was that? 2021?
2020.
2020.
I think it was 2020. But then shortly thereafter, months later, I ended up like going down a whole rabbit hole again. And so there's a lot of triggers, man. Like, so I'm really going to be
Who'd you go with in 2020?
in tune with, I was working as a part of the organization I was with.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I walked around and helped out. There's a whole like research and development side of what I used to do. But I will say that, man, from a business perspective, you can get more done in that week if you're intentional about like your meetings. More than you can do that in 3 months as far as like face-to-face meetings with people. That's where we're not using it like from a business perspective for Blueberrying, because we don't necessarily need more relationships and more training. But applying that same principle to the relationships we do have, like supporting Unit Solutions is our primary goal there. So being in the booth Tuesday and Wednesday, but then, just like being at Safariland for a certain time, being at Born Primitive Tactical's booth for a specific time, Wave Relay, and then one or two other ones, EOTech, Full AR. And it's not that we don't want to go visit with other companies. It's just, we're only going to be there on the floor for 2 days. So if you want to come chat, this would already happened. But either way, just being intentional with how.
Thanks for coming and chatting with us.
Thanks for finding us. I actually meant to talk about this on the last one because I knew it was going to come out before Friday, but we got to chuckling about something.
No, I think it's think it'd be pretty busy, especially once we start putting it up on social media.
Speaking
where
of
we
that, like, God bless Unit Solutions. I love them. They're our number one partnership. But man, they need to hire somebody to do. They need a Starship Commander.
Like the last post.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like that announcement. They put like whatever that original track is. That's like the Dr. Dre song.
Oh,
Ding, ding,
yeah.
ding, ding, ding.
I'm gonna reach out to him. Tell him. See if they'll
But
let
then
me.
the way they made the clip too, like you can't even see
It didn't fit
Kyle
the-
and Blake up
yeah.
top, just because understanding how like what gets cut out, like in the video.
Yeah, and it was old. It was super old video too.
Yeah, it was. It
Had
was like one of the
gator-
first times we were like shot like
Had
a
gators,
video.
Yeah,
Together. Yeah, you had gators.
had gators on.
Yeah. Well, they also did ask if we were good with that video. I can't see everything, man. No, but moving forward, we got to be really, just intentional. Just
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
just like we have, just
the video,
intentional about.
the video. When they texted it to us, it was fine. But once they posted it, is when it started having the cutoffs and all that. Because they originally sent it to us in a text, and it showed the full thing. Or you're talking about like product or like
Oh, the caption.
yeah.
Or like the frame that's in
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Well, it's both. Like if it is an old video, so we could have found a better clip for that. But bottom line is that.
It was pretty terrible.
Yep.
Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Great training rifle.
Yep.
And hope you guys liked the pistol. Because by this time they'd already
Yep.
seen it.
Yep.
You just media sucks.
Mm-hmm.
But
Doesn't suck, but they also
it can
wear
be
a lot of
better.
hats too. So
love you guys.
where do we go from here? I love you. Our number one partnership we're trashing on this podcast. No, we love you guys.
No, we love
Phenomenal
you.
products and company. You just need a Starship Commander.
There's only one.
But
yeah, we're looking for. I'm
yeah.
super excited for SHOT Show. We talked about that a lot. We went to West Virginia this weekend, so I'm ready to not go anywhere with snow.
Yeah. We had a big snow scare here, but man, it just like snowed a little bit. And then that morning.
Yeah, I thought this place in Raleigh was. They had predicted like 8 inches.
It snowed more out towards Charlotte, but not here. It was just a little bit of frost on the ground, but then it just melted. It was like hot on Saturday, so it just melted out.
Dude, we got in I was in West. My mom lives in Beckley, West Virginia, and
Yeah, let's hear about that trip. I want to hear about that trip.
man,
I have purposely not asked you a lot about that trip. 'cause
nothing really truly like crazy
So why'd you go up there?
happened.
Why'd you go up there?
So because it's my brother was able to get a weekend off, so we kind of did like our Christmas with my mom, because they had went to my sister-in-law's side of the family had went to Cancun for Christmas, so they all went
Really?
there for Christmas, and so they didn't go in, so obviously we didn't go in, but man, we started driving in the war wagon. I thought the war wagon was did pretty good in the snow, but doesn't do well in deep snow and ice. So that was they ended up getting 14 inches of snow. So it was Stacy got to sleigh ride. He hasn't sleigh ride in
Well, I saw that little clip.
One time.
Bonnie running around.
yeah. So Bonnie's she's never been in snow.
Yeah.
Deep
Where
snow.
is she?
She's over here. She's sleeping.
Oh, hey girl.
But yeah, she was because that was funny because she's been in snow, but like maybe like 2 inches.
Yeah.
But she's never been in like
Her
that was
paws are
about
completely
yeah
covered.
that was
Yeah.
about 8 inches because it was funny trying to watch her poop because she didn't want her butt touching the snow while she was pooping, so she was in these awkward positions taking a dump. So it was funny, but watching her was funny. And then can you play that video of man? Even at 16, even at my age, sleigh riding like is fun. It's something
Where'd y'all
about
do it at?
there's just like a hill next to my mom's.
Yeah, yeah.
So right here, so this is my son. He's only been in. He's never seen snow like this. He's always seen it a couple inches, and it's always melted. You know, it's never been like a massive storm like this was. So he actually got to he refused to come inside. So go ahead and play this. This is just a little video.
Is that a boogie board?
Yeah. yeah. And then I mean that's it. But man, he did that probably.
That's some good snow though.
Yeah, it was packed. Like we had to ride it for a little bit.
Had it? Is that all new snow?
Yeah.
From the storm?
Yeah.
That came in?
Yeah.
But you beat it there,
We
right?
barely beat it there.
Yeah.
So as we were driving in, because I was worried about, because I didn't want to take Nicole's car. She's got an all-wheel drive Volvo, but it's got like 105,000 miles on it. So I didn't want to take that. I didn't want to take his truck, because trucks don't do that great in snow unless you have it really weighted in the back. So we're like, let's take the van. It shouldn't be that bad. Dude, we got about 30 minutes an hour from Withville. And I'm just telling you, it just started. Like you could barely see. People were pulling over.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, and it's been so cold there.
Is that West Virginia?
Virginia.
Virginia.
Right before you get to the tunnel.
Yeah.
And so
First tunnel or second tunnel?
First tunnel.
Boom.
That's one where you couldn't hold your breath the whole one.
Ha.
No, I'm just kidding. We had breathing techniques the last time we
That's
did
right.
that.
Yeah. Hold the wheel.
Remember that? What was that called?
That's guppying.
Yeah. I still
It's
do
when
that.
Yeah. So
It works.
Guppying is a technique to. There's like a mental side to it that helps you hold your breath longer.
But no, I thought obviously Nicole would say something stupid that we could talk about, but she really didn't. It's just a lot of snow and ice. Wagon got stuck. Had to stay a whole another night that we didn't want to. I wanted to come home, but we couldn't leave until Monday.
You need to get a winch on that thing.
Yeah,
That would help because then you could self-recover.
Yes, but to get a winch, I have to get a $1,700 bumper.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, because I'd looked at doing that, what ended up getting us out is I have tracks, so I just would put the track, go up,
move forward,
forward, and then just reposition them. I thought they would end up breaking because those aren't really that. So a lot of times they break off one-time use, but it was the best $100 I ever
The
spent.
plastic track things.
Yeah,
Like sand tracks. Is what
it got us out of the driveway, and we had a pickaxe where we just kept breaking up the ice. But dude, it's last night was -8.
Yeah.
With the wind. So
Why don't you just put it in four wheel,
and four-wheel drive go. It's a van.
front wheel?
I did put it in front wheel drive.
Mm-hmm. It stays in front wheel.
But
Did you do this a bunch?
no, I let Stacy drive when we about.
No, like that's how you get traction with a front wheel drive is to rock the steering.
Oh
wheel.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I also had Stacy on the side of it, rocking it, like actually pulling it and pushing it.
Oh, I'm sure that wasn't dangerous.
Well, I mean, we had no option.
Yeah.
It was either hang out with my mom again for a whole nother day or get the hell out of here. One of the two. Is that a burpee?
That is.
Hell is not a bad word.
That's two.
HELL is not a bad word.
Is it a noun?
I don't know what it is.
Person,
Yes.
place, or thing.
Yes.
But the way you used it.
Nope. I said we gotta get because it's bad.
Yep.
You know what? I'm just gonna do my burpees.
Good.
Okay. I have no argument.
0.
What? Dude.
Very good.
Now we can continue on.
So nothing else though? Like,
Nothing.
man.
No, so disappointing. Well, no. So she did almost wreck and kill us.
What'd you get for Christmas from the fam?
Got a hug, bro.
Wasn't it a gift exchange too? Or
Yeah, but Stacy gets the gifts. We don't get nothing.
you don't get gifts for each other?
Just
You didn't
grandbabies.
You didn't get your mom anything?
Huh.
Just your presents.
Me driving 6 hours in there.
Yeah.
No, we just have them give the kids stuff. I mean, I think I got like a $20 Chipotle gift card from my grandpa. So I was excited about that.
How's he doing?
It's good. Just,
Still dating?
oh, dude. So,
Did she come over?
no.
Oh.
No, I wanted her to. So she was over there on Thanksgiving. So my grandma died in 2021 or 2020, and they had been married like 40 years, 45 years. And my grandfather now lives with my mom, and he's got a little apartment downstairs, and he got a girlfriend, and which is actually keeping him alive because he's getting out, he's going bowling. You know, it gives him something to look forward to. So I don't mind her, but my older brother was really messing with her
Thanksgiving.
at Thanksgiving. Like she was he had poured a glass of wine or something, and what's the comedian, black dude, dreads, he'll stand in like the beer aisle at a grocery store, and he'll be like yeah, got $1. But the recent one he's been doing
Oh,
is,
then he like shames people about like having a drinking problem.
he's like, how long you been struggling?
oh yeah,
or something, but
we gotta pull that up.
she yeah
Damon Darling.
Yeah, do the beer. But she had watched him like pour his little glass of wine or whatever, and he looks over at her and goes, how long you been struggling? She was like, what? He goes, well, you look like you want a drink. You look like you might be an alcoholic. How long you been struggling? And she was like, no. She's older and everything. But then like they were eating a dessert, and she was sitting next to my grandfather, and my brother was like, he goes, Mom, is this Mama B's recipe? This is delicious. As that lady was eating it. And I'm like, dude, leave that lady alone. Like, you're bullying a 82-year-old woman. But no, I wish she would have been there. It would have made it interesting.
Me?
No, I wish you'd have been there too. That would have been interesting. But because you were like my brother. My brother's funny.
Yeah. I look forward to meeting him too.
I'm just kidding.
It's just a matter of
He's an
time.
a-hole.
Well, we've already identified he's the reason that you need to do talk therapy, right? From
Childhood trauma.
The old sock in the soap on a rope
Oh, you're at church camp.
at church camp.
Soap in a sock.
Yeah, there it is.
Not on a rope. That's kind of... Did I say that?
Yeah, you did.
Soap. Well, yeah. So it'd be
Soap on.
soap in a sock with a rope tied around it.
Sure.
Yeah. Anyways, next story.
Mm-hmm. Moving on.
Moving on to childhood trauma.
Well, I'm glad you all made it up there, man.
Yeah, it was... Because, we'll see them at the holidays, and then they'll come in for... My mom likes to cook on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she likes to just go out there and just cook. Not like physically cook, but like cook her skin.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she'll sit out there. It'll be 110 degrees. She'll sit out on the beach. She loves it.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we were kids, she'd put us out on the beach with no sunblock on. I'd be as red as that cup. It's called base tan. It's awful.
Just getting burnt. Well, while you were up there doing that, my 17-year-old daughter graduated high school early, which we already knew that, but she's been on the fence back and forth on if she was even going to join the military maybe, or, go to school. And I think it just like push came to shove. Like she got accepted in at a university in the state here, and we moved her in there, and now she's in the dorm. Like she started class yesterday, and I'm definitely, there's a couple things with that, like very very nervous about the fact that, Starship Commander graduated from university in 22, and but there was like COVID in between, so he came back and was at home for a bit, and then but he also had his it wasn't his fiance at the time, but I don't know, I felt like he had somebody there.
Oh,
It's just, this is new. Not that my oldest daughter, she started class again. She finished her first semester at university locally here, and her degree's focused in psychology, but 4.0, did 6 classes, just phenomenal, like study habits, and just like that's her focus is school. Whereas my 17-year-old is very much like, I asked her the question more recently. I was like, do you study for, I don't think I've ever seen you study for anything. And she's like, no. But she made good grades. She had like a 3.6 GPA when she from high school.
She's just intelligent.
Yeah, she just, man, what worries me, just like any of the kids, is she reminds me of myself a lot at that age. But where it's different is that she knows that she has support, like from me, from her siblings, from her mother. Like it's very different than me. But when, like, I could see when she's bored with something, man, unless she's really interested in it, it's like really hard to get her attention. And that's where I'm thinking that this experience is going to be really good, because she's going to have to focus. Like, it's not going to be like a breeze, you know. I'm sure certain classes are going to be easier than others, but with a full workload, like, I don't know. It's going to be, that's what I want her to focus on, is like being a good student. And as long as she's a good student, like in applying herself, like she's not going to have to worry about paying for anything with college.
You think she's going to get homesick?
Yeah. I mean, she literally moved in on Thursday to beat the storm, and then just popped in because we were going to go out there Sunday and just kind of visit with her, go catch a service out that way, and then visit with her. But she came home on Saturday, like just drove back.
Did y'all know she was
It's only a couple
back?
hours. Yeah, like that day she said it. So it surprised me. I imagine some of the good things that I think is going to come out of is like just reminding me to like how short this life is, and all of my children are becoming adults and starting their own lives, and just being more consistent on my end with reaching out, like in communication. So like it's different when everybody's here, even though like my 17-year-old I'm talking about, like she would come by and then be like, okay, I'm leaving, bye. I'm like, okay, bye. She's a very social kid. And so you kind of take that for granted, right? Like being home. So now it's like, I'm going to be more intentional about like calling or FaceTime. That's one of the things I think is a really cool habit that old Starship Commander has. Like, he doesn't call, he FaceTimes. I love it.
I like that. Is it more of like a face-to-face thing? Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. It makes you drop what you're doing and actually focus, though. Like, on the call.
It's more like you're more like emotional.
Because imagine if you were on just a video,
Connected.
on an audio call, like you could be, hey, but then you're still doing other things.
Yeah.
Whereas a FaceTime is like,
I like that.
Hey, I don't know. It's one of the things that I've picked up from him, and you know, I'm going to start really applying with her.
Man, kids grow fast. I mean, along with like the seasonal depression here that's been dragging me down lately. It's like watching Stacy drive now, knowing that he's got a year and a half left. You know, he already has an idea. Like he'll still be living with us for a little bit because he wants to go to Cape Fear Community College for the HVAC and stuff like that.
HVAC.
So you know, but still, it's like, man, like Father Time does not wait on nobody. Like you really have to like take in those moments, because man, it's like, holy cow. I sit back and I'm like, man, I 3 years from now, I would have graduated high school 20 years ago. Like where did that go? Where did those 20 years go?
Man, I just had to do math right there.
It's crazy. What year did you graduate?
2002.
Yeah, so you know you're past your 20 years. It's just crazy, man. Like I tell the younger, I tell him, his friends too. Like, you enjoy these times, and because man, I was so as a younger parent, I was so like strict on Stacy, like because it's like, man, I still remember being that age, and I still care if he gets in trouble and doesn't go out and drink and do these things. So I'm a little stricter, but he's got friends whose parents are like 50s, and maybe his friends were like an accident child or something, right? They're way older. They just want to party or go hang out with their friends at the country club, and you know, they get to do whatever they want. But here recently, I've had to sit back and be like, man, you've been a little too strict. You got to give him some freedom.
Yeah.
Not too much, right? But, you know, he's got his car. He's responsible. He doesn't lie about where he's going. He can't. I have like 3 GPSs on him. You know, one on his truck, one on his phone. So,
well, what about that time his buddy like spoofed the GPS? Remember you telling me that
Dude,
story?
some of these kids are freaking intelligent. 8th grade, he went and stayed with a friend. And, you know, always have his GPS. And they hit me up. And he's like, hey, it's like 11:30 at night. He's like, hey, can we ride our bikes to the gas station to go get some snacks? I'm like, absolutely not. I'm like, it's 11:30 at nighttime on a Friday night. There's drunks. This is right off of Wrightsville Beach. People's been drinking, and it's a very busy road. No. So I didn't think nothing of it. He said, okay. So I go pick him up the next morning. And I pick him up. We're driving away, and I go to click on his locations or whatever for some reason. And I saw that his phone was still at this friend's house. And I'm like, hey, man. I'm like, did you leave your phone at your friend's house? He's like, no, I got it right here. I was like, oh, okay. So I'm like, all right, maybe give it a couple hours, see what's going on. So later that night, I like check it again, and it's still over at his friend's house. His friend's like a kid's going to be an IT genius. But he was able to take his iPad, his friend's iPad, and then do something with Stacy's phone and make his iPad believe that it was Stacy's phone. So the location stayed on the iPad, it stayed at the house. So finally, I made Stacy confess all this. I talked to him about it, and he told me, yeah, he did something. Dude, I had to take the phone to AT&T. They had to completely do this whole reboot, resystem, everything. He lost all of his photos, all of his contacts, all of his social media, which was good because that was like his punishment.
Yeah.
And but dude, like I barely know how to work my phone sometimes. And they got 8th graders out here that are like making iPads think they're somebody else's cell phone so they can break that. So Life 360, that's the best one to get. Not the Find My whatever. I learned that the hard way. If you got kids, Life 360.
Yeah.
That's the best one.
Maybe a future sponsor of this podcast.
Yeah, Life 360. You can control your kids wherever they go.
But he confessed though.
Yeah, he was all in tears.
We rode to the store, man.
He was like, dude, we went to the store. I'm sorry. We got Reese cups, chocolate milk. But but even like here recently, he's like, oh, you know, can I go do this and that? I'm like, no. And I'm like, man, you got to stop. You have to let him have freedom. It's just hard. Because it's not that I want to control what he's doing. I'm truly I think I just saw I've seen so many teenagers like dead in vehicles from car wrecks. And I'm just like, I'm worried about him like getting killed driving his car. Yeah. But like I can't punish him for what I used to do. Because that's what that is. It's punishing him for something that
he hasn't even done yet. You know?
Yeah.
No, I think and you know the difference, right, between when they do something that they shouldn't, like correcting it. Yeah. But then we start to like, oh, you're just like me. They're not. They're not. That's why, like, you're raising them to be different.
Let me tell you what this idiot did, though. Dude.
Sorry, Stacey.
Yeah. No, I told him he was an idiot to his face. So you know how on the right side of our house we have that concrete pad that goes on the side?
Yeah, we're like the trash cans.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was going to tell you to pull up my address, but don't do that. Don't do an overview of my house. Don't do that.
So imagine there's
can you do that without typing my address in?
No.
Okay, don't do that.
So imagine
I'll have panties.
A rectangular building.
Some of you weirdos.
On the right side, as you're looking above, there's a concrete pad.
Yeah, so it's like they extended my driveway down to the right side of my house. So he's just got his truck. He's had it like a week and a half. So he's like, hey, I'm going to he wanted to wash his rims one night. I said, cool, whatever, pull the water hose over. No big deal. So the next morning, about 1 o'clock, I get a banging on my door. Bang, 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 bang.
Oh, man.
And I'm like, who is banging on my door like that? So I look out and it's my neighbor on the other side of me. Not the concrete pad, but if you're facing my house, concrete pad's on the right, neighbor's on the left. I'm like, what is going on? So I open my door and my neighbor's like, hey, I gotta show you something. I called the police. I filed a police report and everything. She goes, it's kind of bad. I'm like, oh my God, what is it? She goes, somebody drove on my driveway, through my yard, into your yard, went around back, dug up all this grass, and then they must have just drove away. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to beat some kid in this neighborhood up for treating us. I said, I'm going to lose my mind. We had some terrorizing little kids. So I go out there and I'm looking, and I see 40 yards of just grass dug up, just where tires have been spinning. I said,
On the front yard?
Yeah, on the side. Yeah.
Oh.
So this idiot, Stacy, my son, Hank, gets in his car and drives in our backyard after it's been raining for 3 days straight.
Mm-hmm.
Goes in our backyard, goes around to the other side of the house and goes to the water hose. Not the one that he could have went right here because he's an idiot. He went to the other one. Cleaned his tires off, his rims. Created more water right there. Gets in his car and goes to throws it in reverse.
Goes back the same way?
Goes back the same way. Tires start spinning. So what does he do? Gives a little bit more throttle. So he spins for like 30 yards. Completely digs up my grass. Throws mud all over the side of my house. So he's like, all right, this isn't going to work. So instead of just coming and getting me, we could have figured it out, he puts it in drive, spins out even more, goes into my neighbor's yard, the people who love their grass more than their kids, spins their grass up, and then drives through their driveway, and then comes and pulls into our driveway. Dude, you talk about, they filed a police report and everything. And I don't blame them for filing it because we have HOA.
Mm-hmm.
And if they get fined for their yard being messed up, they're just going to push the blame on us.
Yeah.
I went and bought hay. In our yard, I went and bought hay and put it over the spot and took the camouflage.
And he didn't feel the need to tell anybody?
He didn't like look to see the damage that it did. He didn't tell anybody. Oh man, you talk about being hot.
Mm.
I was hot.
I can imagine.
I was so mad because I just got yelled at for like 30. Because once I told the lady that it was him, she went right into me. And I had to take it because her husband, they got a divorce because we think
he drove on the grass.
Was a pedophile.
Oh.
But he's gone now. They kicked him out of the house. Something happened there. But man, having teenagers is
story just pivoted there drastically.
Well, I don't want to get into that because that was
that
was a whole another issue. But Stacey got invited in his house one time.
All right, we're getting into it.
It was bad.
But back to the.
I had to. But back teenagers.
How does he not know? Hold on. How does he not know that his tires are spinning?
He just thought that they were
on the grass,
spinning on wet
grass.
Is
this at night?
Yes.
So
complete
for one,
darkness.
why are you cleaning your rims at night? You're never going to clean them as good as they need to.
I don't know, Kyle. I don't know.
At night.
I don't know.
Well, hopefully he learned his lesson from that one.
Oh, he did. Because I made him go get hay.
Yeah.
And then I made him spray paint the hay.
Green?
Greenish, brownish to match the yard.
Hmm.
Because it's $275 fine.
Yeah.
So we'll see if the HOA but I know the HOA is going to know.
He drove in their yard?
Yeah, through their yard.
Oh.
Through our yard, through their yard, and then onto their... Had to go over there. And
Has he ever seen you drive through the yard? Or
because he's an idiot.
Okay.
Okay.
Stacey, that's how you get your truck taken.
Yeah.
So,
I was.
As a matter of fact, I'd take his truck.
I'm about to donate it to Blueberry.
Yeah.
It's blue.
We need another truck.
Man, I was having teenagers. These kids put me through the ringer.
That reminded me of a story. Man, I forget what age the girls were, but we had a golf cart. We lived in a gated community.
That's dangerous.
Yep. And we finally got a golf cart. We're like, we're not going to be one of those people, that have a golf cart and just drive around everywhere intoxicated.
But you got one.
But we did get one because there was some like the pool or the gym or the different parks and stuff, like, it sat there more than anything. But I don't know what happened. Like, we had just gotten it maybe. And man, the older girls must have only been like 12 and 10, but they're out in the backyard doing donuts with this thing, dude, to the point where like it was dangerous, right? And they're doing donuts in the backyard with this golf cart, and then they just rammed it into a tree and bent the front axle, like straight up bent it. I ended up I don't even know how that like unfolded, but that was a funny thing that I was like, it wasn't funny in that moment.
Oh no, you were livid.
I was mad, but then I fixed the whole front axle, and then it just like sat there. Like we didn't really even need it, but
oh god, we got a bunch of golf carts in our community too, or our neighborhood. They have like golf cart parades.
Yeah.
Christmas parades.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Halloween parades. I just want to be the Grinch and just push them all over.
Yeah, they like deck those things out.
Oh yeah, yeah. They our neighbors had one, and
there's batteries on those things, man.
Like $19,000 for a golf cart. I was like, no.
Across the street?
Yes.
The ones with the palm trees and stuff?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I could see that
place.
Yeah.
Yeah. They moved out.
Starship Commander, do you ever use a golf cart? So. And we used to do a bit of skateboarding behind that thing.
Dude, we
got pulled over by the security, the security guards for the neighborhood, trying to, you can't be doing that. And blah, blah, blah.
Do you skateboard or longboard? Yeah, man, you have to come down to the beach.
Yeah, we would longboard all over the neighborhood. All the kids got into it, right?
They just keep those They keep those roads like paved nice, just because of that.
Yeah, they got decent roads to do it. I've definitely, dude. I longboarded down in when I was in California.
I bet that was nice.
It was until I freaking was probably going 20 something miles an hour. And
is that where you got
one
that
little
electric skateboard thing?
No, that's Starship Commanders. I bought it off of them. That boosted board.
Dude, that thing is sick. That thing looks dangerous.
I'd rather have a one wheel because the one wheel, it's just one wheel.
Yeah.
It can go over more off-road stuff.
A lot of people have those.
Whereas this one, I put the, you can go, I got like 26 miles an hour on that thing. But I put the bigger wheels on it, the bigger like trucks and stuff, but it's still, man, one little rock, dude. That's you. So I won't ride that thing without a helmet on.
We have we have a lot of kids around like that not Market Street, but like military cutoff area and the Wrightsville Beach area. I guess a bunch of kids got those like electric dirt bikes.
Yep.
But they have the pedals, so they're considered a bicycle. So you can technically you're not supposed to drive them on the road because anything that goes over 30 miles an hour you're supposed to have insurance and things like that. That's why DUI people who have mopeds.
The Dewey scooter?
Yeah.
That was almost me.
But dude,
that was almost me.
These kids are like bullies on those things. They're in like little posses. Mm-hmm. So if you're like in Mayfair and you're doing something, like I know I was going to Chipotle, but
imagine that.
I came out. Dude, these dudes were like circling me and doing like wheelies. Like I'm talking 10, 11-year-old kids that were like trying to like bully me.
What were they saying?
They were laughing.
What were they laughing at?
Me. Because I was getting mad. And I said some things, which I did do my burpee for it.
Oh, was this recently?
Yeah, dude. This was like 2 weeks ago. These
was
kids,
the first thing you said, do you not know who I am?
No, I said I'm going to F you up.
I'm Blakey Poo.
I'm going to hit you with my van. As soon as I get in my van, I'm going to hit all of you. Oh. Probably wasn't the greatest thing to say to a bunch of kids, but hey, man, they were punks. If I'd had OC, I'd have maced them all. Dude, they cornered me. What else was I supposed to do? You have no idea the fear of a bunch of kids on these bikes, man. It was traumatizing.
Yeah.
You shouldn't laugh at that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry for laughing.
I was confiding in you, and you just laughed at me.
Yeah,
This is why I don't go to see therapists. Prime example. Notepad, pen, laughing. Just kidding.
Please,
Therapy's not like that. If you need therapy,
tell me
please go seek therapy and stop sending me paragraphs of messages.
Oh.
Don't do that. Stop.
So tell me a little bit more about how that made you feel.
We're going to mute all this. Don't stop laughing. This is not.
I have a talk therapy appointment tomorrow.
I hope.
You
Is
hope
it
what?
a guy or girl?
I'm not telling you.
I hope. Maybe they don't. Maybe who they want to be. Yeah. But I hope they laugh at you.
It's a man. And he's someone I look up to. So.
I hope he's like, just like you did to me. Right there.
That's why I'm not your therapist, because a good therapist would never do that. That's why we can't be your therapist either. No, but it is something that I believe in, man. And I view it as like systems checks, man. Like a oil change, you know? Like,
yeah.
For different points in my life, like it was more intensive. Like I needed it every week or every other week, but now it's basically like once a month. I need to make sure that it's on the calendar.
I gotta find.
It's just a part of the greater.
Is it
support.
in person or is it?
Yeah, in person.
Where do you go?
Fuquay.
Yeah, I need to find one. Just like a once a month thing.
I mean, it, and they're not all the same, man. So like that's where you sit down with them, get to know each other, and part of it is like there is a bit of like when you do find a different therapist or need to find another one, like. You have to start over. You have to build rapport with each other. It's not like you should be able to do that with them. But man, finding him is a godsend because, you know, we don't sit there and talk about scripture the whole time, but he's a man of God and prays over me at the end of every one. But he's a licensed clinical, you know, social worker or therapist. So,
oh man, I might get his number.
So he understands like the brain, right, and not just the spiritual aspect of it, but which is just it's what works for me. So much of my time, and I'm proud of this, is trying to get into God's word and to become more mature, emotionally, spiritually. I do believe the emotional maturity side is paramount for you to ever unlock the spiritual maturity that you can have in your life.
Yeah. I agree. I think it's important. I think it's something that I lack. I'm not sure why I lack it. Maybe I just haven't.
New.
Yeah.
It's just something new, and
But I have to go do it. The VA wants me to do it, but I'm not doing it through the VA. It's just my personal opinion.
Man, but I'd pay out of pocket for it. It's worth its weight in gold, and especially if you can find the right person.
Just because, like even going back home, everywhere I went, people. It's a very small town. First thing people ask is, "How's your dad doing?" I'm like, "Dude, I don't know. I ain't talked to him in 2 years. I don't know. I don't know if he's alive. I have no idea. I haven't heard from him since my last phone call, which was in 2023. I got some text from a number that seemed like it was him, but I blocked him. But that's like the first thing. So all that does is just like, it's like, oh yeah, how is he doing? You know, I don't know. So. Yeah, it's definitely, like you said, it's a good oil change.
It's a process too, though. Like,
yeah,
it'll be something that if you feel like it's the right time, but I will always encourage you to seek that, because we have to be able to share things with each other, and not everything we do or can. Sometimes we don't because of just habit of not trying to just deal with it ourselves, or we put it on to Erica or Nicole, and that's where it's one of those things when I realize that I'm projecting something onto her and I can't explain it, that's perfect. That's a perfect example of what I need to discuss with him.
Yeah.
Because it's a good therapist never tells you what to do. They help you work through and come to a conclusion. And sometimes it's not a conclusion. Sometimes it's just awareness of things, but just being in tune with, we talked about this in the fellowship, that thought connects to an emotion, connects to an action, and closing the distance between all three. So from a thought to an emotion to an action, like understanding that line, they all connect. When we don't understand how they connect, that's when it could be avoidance. It could be like lack of introspection or self-awareness. There's a lot of things, but that's where I believe it's been cool to see you grow as a man too, and just become more self-aware as we continue to walk together in this life. And it's a part of that process that I view as like a systems check, man. And I think it'll be really good for you.
Well, I think the reason why I've waited so long is, coming up on, May will be 2 years that I haven't drank since I've been sober. And
woo.
And I think, that's a long time. And I think now that I have zero desire to drink is better for me. Because at one point I was more worried that therapy would make me go back to drinking.
And it would dig up things. But that's where realizing that even that feeling of like worried about if it dug something up tells you that there's things that you got to work through safely, like safely in the right environment with a professional. Like that's it, man. Because obviously I'm always going to be there, but having that professional to help you make sense of things when you can't, like to put words to things, like that's huge, man.
I think therapy is important too, because if you're wanting to talk about it, and a lot of people do want to talk to us about it, but it's like, I don't know what a therapist, they understand this, they know how to respond, they know the tools to use. Like I'm sure you get them and I get them, but we just get these long messages, and I'm honored that you guys are confiding in us and sending us that. But man, like if you're finding yourself writing long paragraphs of like trauma to people that you've never met before, like that's might be an indicator that you might want to go seek an in-person therapist.
Yeah.
I read your messages. I just don't know how to respond to these because God, I'm still trying to figure it out. At most,
the way that I respond to those is exactly what you just said. Like that's where it starts. Like clearly this is something, thank you for feeling the need to share that, but you got to do something with this paragraph, this awareness, right? And that's where you just kind of put that back onto them. But I get it, man. It's tough, but it's the same reason. Like that was the last thing I wanted to talk about too, was Chris Fettes' episode.
Yeah, I got through some of that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna finish it actually on the drive home tonight. Yeah,
I need to finish it as well. But I'm really proud of him, man, because just the way that he. If you don't know who he is, check him out on Sean Ryan's show. He went recently. The episode released. But what's really cool about it is just how raw and how vulnerable he was with years removed from something, and just to see how he was able to like articulate it in a way and just be very authentic about the emotion. It's human, man. We are human beings, first and foremost. And regardless of where he used to work or where I used to work or what Blake used to do, like it's trauma and it's moral injury in some cases. In a lot of cases, it's one of those things that you have to reconcile, and you do that by sharing it with a power greater than yourself and with another human being of like mind. But I'm really proud of him for being able to share the way he did, and I'm excited to finish his episode. I felt like he maintained a level of integrity and honor and authenticity. Just how you could just see the emotion in his face, in his eyes, like in his words.
Yeah. I love Chris, man.
Yeah.
He's just like even the first time I met him, he's just like very soft spoken, just very genuine.
Yep.
Just like a good human being. I mean, that's what he's just a good soul.
I mean, the first time I met him, he brought me from Beefery Craft Ice Cream.
I cannot wait.
He
to go
brought
there
me
and get our ice cream.
a special edition version called Blueberry Solutions. And
Do you really?
It was like a blueberry ice cream, like it was like a friggin' meal, but really good. And now he has the cafe and everything. I'm excited to go up there and visit with him. But that's my point too. Is like he's gone through this journey and introspection, and he has used the psychedelic assisted therapies and stuff, and that it's just really cool to see. Post some of those treatments that he has gone through to be able to share on Sean's show. Whereas like for me, I didn't do the first psychedelic assisted therapy until after the show like aired. So, and I've done it twice. So definitely check him out on Sean Ryan's show, and just love you, Chris. Thank you for sharing your story with everybody. And look forward to getting up there and checking out the Be Free Craft Cafe. Really, really great job what he's doing with the cafe.
I'm gonna crush in pastries.
Yeah, and they have a whole like craft pastries line now too. But I think it's a good point to end the episode. What do you say? The timer's gone, so I think we're done.
You gotta do one pirate fact.
Save it for Patreon.
I'll have 3 others.
Good.
Pirate fact. Anne Bonny was previously married to a Mr. Bonny who was a sailor. So she was a sailor and she went to Jamaica, and then Jack Rackham actually purchased her from her husband because they hated each other. And then they sailed under the sloop called the William, and they only sailed for 2 months. As popular as her and Mary Read were, a fact that I learned was they were actually 5 months pregnant. In their last battle, they actually fought with their breast out, which intimidated the men, and they almost won, but they were captured and then taken to Port Royal to be hung. But Anne Bonny disappeared. Mary Read died in prison, and Calico Jack was killed. And his name's Calico Jack because calico was a type of clothing that only wealthy people wore back then, and he was very wealthy and educated.
It's also a cat.
So that's your pirate fact for the day.
Isn't it a cat? If there's a calico cat.
Yeah.
Thumbs up from Starship Commander.
Yeah.
So guys, check him out on
Pirates
Project
and
Black
cats
Sails if
don't
you
go
want more
together.
pirate related facts.
I changed it.
To Project Black Sails?
Black Flags. Project Black Flags.
Project Black Flags. Oh,
Yeah.
you want to do us? You want to wrap it up for us here?
Yep. Go ahead, Starship. Wrap it up. Just kidding, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being supporters of ours. Join Patreon Tier 1 to see the exclusive episodes also. And it was awesome seeing y'all at SHOT Show.
Until then,
Continue to train.
check out the other episodes of the Blk Blu Podcast
We're gonna-
on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube.
My name's Kyle Morgan. We're going to continue to train.
Yeah.
Let's continue to train.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Man, you really forced that pirate knowledge there.
That was good pirate knowledge.
Yeah, for sure.
Actually, people have been messaging me wanting a little pirate history.
Oh, no. All right.
Pirates are a pop culture favorite right now, just so you know.